It's time to breed our corn snakes, and basically they're going to go into hibernation, and we're planning the 2024 season of our colubrid breeding. Hey guys, Brian from MBK Reptiles here, and I get a lot of questions that people that ask me, how do I breed my corn snakes, my king snakes, my milk snakes? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down in the next few videos during the whole process for the next few months on what we actually do to breed our colubrids. Now, currently we're in November. We're in December, because usually we start in November, but this year I felt that the collection was a little bit thin, so I gave them an extra month of feeding before putting them to hibernation, to their brumation. Now, what we do in that case is that we basically stop feeding the animals for about 3 weeks, and during that time we just let them empty out. So we're not cleaning anything, we're not doing anything, and then instead of spring cleaning, we basically go through a winter cleaning. So in 3 weeks, we're gonna start dropping down the temperature. Now, we don't want them to have any food inside them because they will not be able to have heat to digest. They're gonna go into that brumation phase, and they're gonna cool down for a few months before we heat them back up and create that breeding season that we all know comes in spring. Now, with us, what we're doing right now, we are in that 3-week window where the animals are emptying themselves out. Now, what I asked my staff, so I asked JF, just to basically put a few stickers on a bunch of bins, just to let me know, like, which ones do you feel are a little bit too small? Now, why do I want to know that? Well, I want to know if these animals are capable of going through the hibernation. Theoretically, they are babies, juveniles, adults, but I want to maximize them into them growing into adulthood to make sure that I have quality and strong animals to go through that process to breed. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a few of those, actually like more than a few, a bunch of our corn snakes, king snakes, and milk snakes that are considered small. And I'm going to explain to you a little bit of the process of what I actually see when I look at them. So let's go right in. Here we have a scaleless diffused. Now, this animal, again, it is very small. Now, some corn snakes are a little bit smaller, but what I really want to look at more than the actual size of the animal is if the animal is skinny. So if it's bony, and then also the head size. Now, in this case here, this animal is actually a little bit small and a little bit young. So it's from the 2021 season, so it's like 2 years old. It's a little bit small. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take a few of these animals and take them to another rack where we're not gonna take them into brumation, because these 2 rooms, we're gonna be bringing some cold air in, which I will show you guys how we do that in another video. So this one's gonna go in, and we're gonna feed during the whole winter, just to make sure that it doesn't lose time. Now, am I gonna breed her? Possibly. We'll see how she grows in the next 3-4 months, and maybe I'll try breeding her on a second clutch or whatnot. Now here, so this is just another OPT, a little bit of the same situation as this previous one. So a little bit on the downside. Can she breed? Yes, she can, but I want them a little bit bigger than that. So this one will be, I basically leave that sticker right there. Here we go. She's excited. Here, just the same. So we're just going through the process, and we're seeing these animals together. Now, here will be the same. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. So this one here is a butter, I believe it's a butter motley, or just a butter motley scaleless. Now this one here is, why would JF tell me that? You know what, I'm not sure. Well, it does show a little bit of bone. It looks like it has a bit of bone, but some of the scaleless do show this here a little bit. Now this one is a good size breeder, because once she goes through hibernation, once she comes back, she's definitely going to be like gaining weight. Now, am I gonna breed her? I'm not 100% sure, but what I know is that I'm 100% putting her through hibernation. And when she comes out, if she's gonna have, like, if she hasn't lost much weight, I might wait for the second clutch before actually breeding her. So maybe the first time that we're gonna breed them, I won't at this point. So she will be one that will be going through hibernation. Let's see here. And here we go. So this is another scaleless. And I just want to show it to you guys because they're just beautiful. So we got to show some snakes. So that's a butter motley scaleless as well. This one has less of the spots and a little bit more of the stripes. So this one will go through hibernation as well. And from that point on, I believe they're going to be breeding at the second clutch. But for now, that is what it's going to be. Hey, come here, you little one. No. So that's pretty good. Let's see about these. So these are older breeders. So if they have usually once they're there, they're a little bit different. So you see here, so this is a albino het palmetto. Now this girl has been breeding like crazy over the past few years. Now she is a little bit on the thin side. You can see that there's a little bit of bone on this animal. So sometimes what I do is I like to give them a little bit of a year off. So either what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna hibernate them and just feed her, or sometimes what I do is if I have enough, I will actually heat a bin during hibernation and keep feeding them slowly, which works really, really well for us. But this one is definitely gonna be one that we're gonna keep an eye on. Now here we have a cinder. So yeah, so that's just a cinder, again, on the small side, but looks really, really good. So I'm gonna put her through hibernation. She's gonna be doing well, and that's gonna be another one of those second clutch breeder, actually. Some of the males, you can just come and see here, and you can see, look here. So this one here is the same thing. It's a little bit on the skinny side. So I'm sure she would be able to do super well, but maybe I want to just give her a few more meals throughout the winter to be able to make sure that she does good. Now these are two males, I believe. Yes, they are. So this here I will pull. So this here is a honey scaleless. So that's a caramel sun-kissed scaleless. Now this one here, it's a male. He's on the small side. And again, that's what we're looking at today. You know, we're looking at smaller side animals to make sure to see if they're gonna go. Well, males tend to breed actually smaller, which is not a problem. And this one is healthy and moving well, so it's gonna go through hibernation. So this one here is a sun-kissed. So this is a sun-kissed from the Miami Phase line. So this comes from my super awesome candy canes. And this one is gonna be the same level. So it's gonna go through hibernation and probably will be a very good male, but just a young male, so it might not over push him, you know. So these stickers are out. Now let's see here. So this is a perfect example. So this is a Tessera blood. Now this one here, huge head, big animal, but hasn't gained all the weight back. So do I want to just push her? Well, I don't really feel the bones or whatnot. It's just to keep an eye on this animal, but definitely going to do well through the hibernation period as well. We have a palmetto anery. Now the palmettos seem to be growing a little bit slowly for me. They have a smaller head, so I'm going to pull this one out. So they tend to have like for me, a smaller head for now, and then I've bred them like their parents and everything. I've bred them a little bit young, and they've done really, really well. So this one's gonna go through hibernation. We'll see how she does, and probably add a second clutch again as well. Usually those are all like first year breeders, so she hasn't bred in the past. So let's do one more. Let's see. Oh, here's a big one. So this is a big horn. She's a big female, but she's one of those huge females that have a lot of weight. So she's very long. Like you can see, like the age and the length on this animal is there. So, but usually the girth of it, so the thickness of this animal is not there, but very, very clean, very beautiful, and then very healthy as well, just not fat, which is a great thing. So this one will go through hibernation perfectly. So how about we go through the king snakes and milk snakes and see how those go. So right across our kings, so kings are fat, kings eat, they're crazy all the time. So I use these little tweezers because they just jump right out and want to eat everything from me right here. So here we go. So this is a desert male. Those are the Splendidas. Now these guys are actually, this is a male and he's very small. So we're definitely going to breed him because his female is huge. I mean, not breed him, but feed him. So during the whole winter time, I'm going to pull him out and we're going to feed him like crazy because this female is huge. She's grown like crazy. Last year they made a ton of babies, but I'm just afraid that the female will want to eat him, and that's not what we want to happen. So come here now, so you will definitely be fed. So we have a California high white. What's going on? And here he is hiding down. So there we go. So these are gorgeous. So these are my high white Californians. Now Californians get bigger, especially than the Splendidas. So he's on the small side right now. So it would be very important for me to grow him up because it's not something that I want to have a female eat them, especially that for whichever reason currently my collection with the king snakes, I'm very short in males. Probably because a few of them has eaten another one. Now let's see, we have so this is a chocolate aberrant cal. So these were a cross between the chocolates and then some of the aberrant cal kings. And again, they are beautiful, but that's the same thing. So this male is a little bit on the small side. Now people will say, like, if you don't hibernate them, are they gonna produce fertile eggs? Like most of the time, yes, they do. It might create a little bit of they won't maybe be as strong because the hibernation part is very important. We have noticed, that you need cool air, like cool nights, to be able to for the sperm to build up, for sperm buildup like that. So that is kind of important. But usually, we're gonna try them, but we won't overbreed them. So small males, we might try them with one female or with two females, but not overbreed them and really monitor them as well. As you guys can see, there's just a few handful of animals that we're going through today that are ones that we actually have to look through. So this one here is pretty cool. So this female here is a pink pearl California king. Now this girl, she's amazing. Now she tends to get really, really fat. So we've seen her huge, but this animal is just she loves to eat, but right now she's not gaining too much weight. But what I want is, she musked all over me already, which is pretty cool. Smells amazing. So this female is perfect. I'm gonna hibernate her with no problem. And I actually don't want her to get too fat because I have a feeling that she was giving me such big clutches and she was retaining the eggs. She would she'd lay 3 eggs and then she'd retain 3 other eggs that would go bad inside of her. And then from that point on, we would basically have to just empty out the eggshells and everything from inside her. So it was always complicated. So I think the fact that she's actually smaller is a really good thing. And then I can't wait to see how she does. Now, the milk snakes, there's a lot more right now because we have a lot of young milk snakes. We haven't been producing too many, but they're actually doing really well. So this is a Sinaloan or a Nelson. That's a Nelson, a het splotch T positive. So these are beautiful snakes. A beautiful snake at this point. I just love milk snakes. They're not necessarily the most popular because they tend to be super hyperactive, especially as babies. But they are really cool looking. So here we have a albino, and again, these guys, they're not on the big side and they're not on the small side. They just look perfect. So these are going to go through hibernation really well and do that. So these are albino Nelsons. So the same one that we saw, but the albino form from before. So albino Nelson milk snakes. What do we have? We have these. Oh, these are cool. So this one's a Pueblan, but I call them large band because they have these large white bands. So this is a large band Pueblan milk snake, and this one is a little bit on the small side, but it's a female, so they're young. So we'll probably go through hibernation and see if we breed them for the second clutch and see how they go. But I mean, even if I would breed them, they'd probably give me eggs, but just give me less eggs. I could get like maybe, I don't know, like 6 to 10 eggs from them, but these ones might give me 4 to 8. So it's a little bit different. Now, these guys here we have some of our scaleless rat snakes. Now these guys, they're really cool, but they're definitely way too small, and they're gonna have to be taken out because they're not ready to breed. So these are scaleless anery Texas rat snakes. Now these guys are beautiful, but just not ready to breed, and so we're just gonna keep feeding them throughout the hibernation period in another rack, in another room, and go from there. So we have proven that these scaleless Texas are compatible. The scaleless is compatible to the corn snake scaleless. That's why probably where the anery came from as well. But just beautiful. And since we're going at it, I'm going to show you another one. This is my favorite one. He's just so stunning. I mean, look at this animal. Even though they are cross, I mean, this is beautiful. So this is a scaleless Texas anery, and they are a cross between the corn. I didn't know until we proved it out last year that they were actually the same. But beautiful. Look at the colors and the contrast of this beautiful animal. So scaleless Texas anery. Gorgeous. All right, let's do one more. Why not, right? So here, this is a splotched head albino Nelson. And these are amazing. Whew, look at him. So this is a milk snake, guys. So this is a splotched head albino, and I wish I could calm him down, but not happening right now. Here we go. Just gorgeous animal. Very, very small head that one has. So this will be the same. Go through hibernation, and from that point on, we will see how she comes out. Oh, it's a boy. So he will be definitely breeding. So guys, just wanted to go through a few of them so that you guys see what we do, our process. So right now we're in a period where the animals are emptying out. We're just making sure that they don't have anything left into their stomach before bringing temperature down. So make sure to tune in with us. If you like this video, if you want to hear about more educational video with some raw footage and some beautiful animals, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, send us a comment on what else or what other species you would like to learn about, or if you have any question. We're thinking about maybe possibly doing like some question answers, you know, like going through some questions and answer them throughout some other videos until then. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy, and until next time, and as usual, no stress.